Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Lorenzo, your host, your friend, your coach. Today, I have another great guest for you, Leah Davidson from the border of Saskatchewan, Alberta. So, Saskatchewan or Alberta One, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, we connected to a common friend of ours, Tina, and we had a chat. What was it? A week ago, 2 weeks ago? And we connected along well because again, I used to work in Alberta and all that with a lot in common, and also she has an incredible story. So, in a nutshell about her, she helps women struggling with weight gain, low energy, and hormonal changes create sustainable weight loss so they can feel confident, present, and like themselves again without rest, restrictive diet, or spending hours to the gym. And she also changed her life. So she lost weight herself. She used to be, as she put it, a party girl, drinking, and she wanted to drastically change her life, not only for herself but also for her fiance. And now she's on a mission to inspire other women in a similar position. So we're gonna unpack all of that here in this podcast. So Leah, my friend, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Pleasure of mine. I gotta say honestly again, your sound is amazing, very professional, even making me feel conscious. So that's well done, well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Okay. So first of all, the first question I like to ask my guests is this. For people who don't know you, who's Leah? First and foremost, we're gonna talk about your business and all that later, but for people who don't know you, who's Leah as a human being and as a woman?
Oh gosh, that's kind of a loaded question. I don't I like consider myself in the area of like an adventurer.
Mm,
I just want to live life till the fullest. The earth is such a magical place. It's, the earth playground, we can call it. I heard it in a book. And like, yeah, I'm here to experience all that being human has to offer. I want to experience the people around me and I want the people around me to feel love and I want to experience love. And yeah, that's basically what I lead my life from.
love that, love that. We're gonna unpack that in a moment, but I'd like to start first with a series of rapid fire questions to further get to
Ooh,
know you. Ready?
bring it on. Bring it on.
So tell us, what makes you happy?
Ooh, tacos. My
Oh, what?
dog.
Okay, what kind of tacos? Are you talking my language?
Oh, oh yeah, like authentic. Like give me a good authentic Mexican restaurant. Soft
Mm-hmm.
tacos, like the shredded chicken or like the El Pastor, I believe it's called, with some guac. And
Oh,
oh yeah,
how
I'm a
about
happy girl.
burritos?
Also very great.
Oh, quesadillas, don't get me started. I might go for lunch for looking for a Mexican restaurant because of you. Thank
I
you.
could talk about food forever. Yeah.
Love that. Now, what makes you smile?
Oh, my family.
Oh yeah.
Hands down. Like my kid, he's 10 and he's absolutely hilarious. Like he makes me laugh on a daily basis. He's so silly.
Kids are literally gifts from God, the angels, you know.
Yes.
And oh
Yes.
yeah, especially in the first few years.
Mm,
As they grow up and a teenager it might be a different story, but you know,
for sure. For sure. I think we can learn so much from
I know.
kids. Like I use my little guy really as like a guide for myself on how to
Mhm.
be like more childlike and present and
Yes,
not to take life so seriously all the time because that can be hard for
exactly.
me to do. Hmm.
Exactly. Now let's take the happiness factor a couple of levels higher. What set your soul on fire?
Doing things like this, like getting
Mhm.
into small rooms. I love connecting with people who have hearts. So I love the name of your podcast. That probably brings me like the most joy and fulfillment. Like magic is created in small rooms. And
Absolutely.
yeah,
Love that. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, what makes you
yes.
sad and angry?
Oh, sad and angry. Probably myself. Self-doubt is something that I struggle with a lot. Kind of like second guessing myself. Like I'll get anxiety if I make promises to myself and not follow through. And so I can
Mhm.
kind of be my own worst enemy a lot of the time.
Yes, indeed, I can relate with that. Now, What scares you?
Um, I think being brought up the way that I was,
Mm-hmm.
and moving away from, I moved out of my house when I was 16 years old. And so I had this, I have to take care of myself. So security is something that can bring fear into a lot of different areas into my life. Like, what if things go wrong? What if I don't have this? What if this isn't enough? What if my business fails? What if, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And I'll relate with that. Now, what would you say is your personal number one superpower?
Mm, I would say like encourager slash cheerleader. It's kind of one of the
Mm-hmm.
biggest reasons I got into doing what I'm doing as
Yes.
a coach.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really have that person in my life, and I always wanted to have that person in my life. So I had to become my number one hype girl, and I just want to be that person for the people in my life.
Yes. And who's your cheerleader?
Who's my cheerleader? Yeah, my family, my
Yeah.
son Deacon, and my fiance,
Mm-hmm.
and like my mom. Like she's
Yes.
amazing, and I have an amazing fam. I have like 13, probably more than 13 cousins, and like my
Wow.
family's super close knit, and yeah, they're really great people. So,
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
mhm,
Now, what would you say is one thing that you used to value that you're not valuing as much or anymore?
that I used to value. Hmm. I don't know if it would be a value, but I used to just, oh, okay, like here's a good one. I think like being busy,
Mm.
like always do. Like there was a point in my life where I would, we're in Canada. We take our shoes off when we go in the house. I know that's not the same
Especially in
as
winter.
all areas around the world.
Especially in
Um,
winter.
in winter, yes, exactly. We have snow for 8 months out of the year. So, yeah, we take our shoes off here. But there was a point in my life where I would not take off my shoes in the house because if I took them off, that would mean that it's time to rest. And I would, like, yeah, I would be cleaning, I'd be
Interesting.
frantically, I'd have a to do list like this big. And
Wow.
I would put my worth and my value in what I was doing.
Mm.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now, on the other side, what is one thing that you did not value before that now you value big time?
Um, I would say just myself as an individual that, I am here for a purpose, for a reason. And, like my journey is my journey. And I kind of, threw out my hands and more like Jesus, take the wheel and just kind of really learn to value what I have, what my surroundings are, instead of living in that fear or, not feeling like I'm not doing enough, like I'm not enough. So I've really, and it's not perfect every day, but I have really kind of started going down that road of, self value and the things that I have.
Speaking of value, what would you say is your non-negotiable, two non-negotiable values
Like in life in general,
in general in life? Yeah.
um, well, one of my values is to, do everything from a place of love,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's like business, your passion, your relationships, like everything should come from there. Because when it stems from there, like you really can't go that wrong. So that's important to me. And the next one is learning to understand. Oh, I'm getting some feedback. Is there feedback on your end?
No, it's
Oh,
okay.
that's better. Okay. Um, learning, understanding the people in your life, um, and I guess everybody, like where they came from. So to not judge,
Mm-hmm.
but to Come from a place of curiosity, curiosity
Mhm.
over judgment. That's where I was leading to.
Yeah,
That's a big value of mine.
absolutely.
Hmm.
Yes, love that,
Hmm.
love that. Now let's move forward.
Yeah,
You enjoy traveling, don't you?
I do. Yeah.
We can do an entire episode on, not just an episode, but an entire podcast just on traveling, but we'll do that another time. For now, I'd like to take you down another type of traveling, down memory line. Go back to when you're
Mm,
growing up as a child. You know, when we're kids, people around us, family, relatives, teachers, neighbors, ask us, hey, Leah, what do you want to become when you grow up? What was your answer to
mm.
that as a little girl?
I wanted to be either an actress or a singer and then like a hairdresser.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Was there anyone in particular that inspired you to become one of those, or just because you felt that they're cool?
Probably the first one was my mom. Like my parents were born in the 80s. I don't know. Do you know Tiffany, the
Tiffany,
singer? Tiffany, she just goes by
Austin,
Tiffany.
yeah.
She's an 80s singer. So my mom gave me her cassette tape and I would like rollerblade in my
Mm.
basement to her cassette tape. And yeah, so that was
Oh,
probably
yeah.
the first. And then like Shania Twain. Do you know who Shania
Oh,
Twain
of
is?
course.
Yeah. Yes.
Which Canadian doesn't know her, you know?
Exactly. I've spent many, I got a microphone for Christmas once. So there was many a night singing to her tape in my basement.
Yeah, she's got a beautiful voice. Absolutely. And
Yeah.
amazing
She's a
songs.
legend.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Now, growing up, what was your
Yes.
relationship with school? Did you love it or hate it?
I really liked school. I was always very much a people person. I was very independent, like, bye, mom and dad. I wasn't like, crying or sad to leave my parents. I was like, yep, I'm ready to go out into the world. And I always loved my friends. And yeah, I
Mm.
enjoyed it.
And what were your favorite and least favorite subjects in school?
Oh, favorite would be like English and writing. Um, and then least favorite was math for sure. I'm
Why?
still not a math girly.
You're not a
Why?
numbers person?
Yeah, I'm not a numbers person. Yeah, it's still kind of like a foreign language to me. So I'm very grateful for
Yes,
calculators.
absolutely, absolutely. Now, imagine that we're in the same class, say grade 10, 11. What kind of student were you?
Mm.
What kind of girl were you? Were you the introvert, the shy one, the chatterbox, the superstar, the athlete? How were you back then?
Mm. I think I liked being at school. I wasn't the bookworm or the smartest
Mhm.
girl in the class. I wasn't super athletic. I played volleyball. I was just like, I was just like there. And
Mm.
I don't know, like I was just happy. I'm just outgoing. I wasn't like super, super chatty, but I was just friendly. Like I
Yeah.
was just there to have a good time, enjoy my friends, just hang out. It was like chill.
And now, were you popular with the boys in school?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. I always liked boys. It was, yeah. I don't growing up, like I wasn't super close with my family
Mm.
growing up, so I really sought out like my girlfriends and like romantic relationships from a pretty young age. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
What was your very first job? And do you remember how much you got paid the first time you worked?
Oh, hmm. My first real job was when I moved out of my parents' house when I was 16. I started working. We lived in a very, very, very small town. And so, like, there was no gas station, no nothing, but they had a little general store. So there was like an auto body shop in there. And I would just clean and restock chocolate bars. And yeah, that was pretty much it. It was probably like 12 bucks an hour or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember what you did with the first paycheck?
Probably spent it on like pizza and like vodka coolers.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. That's fun. Now, let's move forward. From the time you left school to now, how would you describe your path? Would you say it was pretty much straightforward, smooth sailing? Once you're into one lane, you were set for life? Or was it more like turns and twists like a roller coaster?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like like those pinball machines where they like, that was my life for sure.
Talk us about your path from the moment you left school.
Well, when I left school, I went to go live with actually one of my ex-boyfriend's grandma. She lived out of town. And so I went to live with her and just kind of start my out of school journey. And I didn't really have any plans because I left home when I was 16. I already had it in my mind that I wasn't going to be able to afford post secondary school. I didn't really think about, how I could get scholarships or anything like that. It was just, this is my life now. I'm not going to post secondary. I'm just going to work and do my best. So I started working at a department store there. And yeah, I worked retail jobs for a little while. I had met a partner in Wainwright, and then we moved to Edmonton, which is 2 hours away from my hometown. I could not wait because I felt like I was the black sheep of the family and everybody knew everything about me. And, when you're a teenager, the world revolves around you, right? So you think you're the center of the universe and you're not. But anyway, I couldn't wait to move to the big city.
Mm-hmm.
So we moved to the big city and, yeah, I started to kind of get my bearings and made friends. And we would I would work during the day and we would go out and drink and party on the weekends. We would always like host people over, like every holiday or, sporting event was a reason to have a party, right? We would do like theme parties and, yeah, so that was really so. Like I worked three jobs. Sometimes I worked in the service industry, so I worked for a hotel, and then I would serve at nighttime or bartend, just to make extra money. I always liked work. I always had a job. Again, that kind of security thing comes into play, right? Um, so yeah, yeah, so that's kind of where I was. Like, do you want me to tell you all about until like we got here today or?
You can summarize it in a nutshell. Yeah.
Um, yeah, so basically that was kind of the life I was living. And then I had my son Deacon when I was 25 years old. And I got postpartum depression with him. I think looking back then, I didn't know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So like ever since I was, 16 and moving out, I kind of got in with the wrong crowd. And so, from my past and kind of being a lost soul, I
Mm-hmm.
numbed a lot with alcohol. And so that was kind of always a struggle with me. I was very careful after I had my son, but that was still kind of my go-to. And I just found myself living in a lifestyle that wasn't mine, and I felt like I was on this ride and I couldn't get off. No matter how hard I tried, I wanted to be better. I wanted to, do better, be a better person, but I always kind of get sucked back into like this
Mm-hmm.
party girl lifestyle. Like it was a default, it was a stress response. Um, and so that was kind of like a constant battle. So after I had my son, it was about 1 year. It was almost the end of my maternity leave, and I said, I'm gonna smarten up. Like I need to fix myself. So I was like, where do people go to get healthy? And I was like, well, it must be the gym. So I applied for a position at a gym. I got a job at the gym, and I just loved it. I was selling gym memberships,
Mm-hmm.
and I would give people tours. And I just got super excited about getting other people fired up about their fitness journeys. And so that was kind of where it really started for me. And then I worked my way up to sales manager of the gym. And long story short, my son's father and we ended up moving back to our small hometown to be closer to my family. And yeah. And so we separated shortly after that. And then I was kind of, wandering and trying to figure it out. And then I started to get into powerlifting. So I started
Wow.
lifting heavy weights. That was really like the first thing it was the first positive outlet that I had. It was great for my mental health, my sanity, for routine. It made me feel strong and proud of myself. So I started doing that. And then I kind of got caught up in the it's kind of like in the bodybuilder world where they do like really restrictive diet cuts to like lose weight and become really small. And then, you go on bulks. So you would eat lots of calories, work out really hard to put on muscle. And so I would do those, and it really turned into like a restrict binge cycle. So that started a lot of unhealthy eating patterns for me.
Mhm.
And when we were bulking, it wasn't like a clean eating healthy food bulk. I was bulking mostly with like pizza and ice cream. So, so I would gain a lot of body fat with the bulks there. So I had to work extra hard to get it off. So that was, yeah, kind of like another um, hard cycle to be in. I tried all different
Mhm.
because once I had Deke into, I gained a lot of weight. So tried everything from doing the shake diets to oh gosh, supplements and fat burners and like all sorts of different things that are supposed to help you lose the weight super quick, right? Um, so yeah, so I did that, and then I met my fiance that I'm with now, and he was like, "You are great with people, and you love the gym. Like, why don't you get your personal training
Did you guys meet at
certificate?"
the gym?
We met at a Halloween party through friends from the gym that I worked at and that he went to. So yeah,
Who made the
so
first
we
move?
um I think I sort of did.
Oh,
Like
wow.
yeah, like his
That's
friends
cool. You know,
introduced.
a girl that does make the first move, that's amazing. Guys, we love it. We crave that. We know that this girl is different. That's going to be the one. Hey, tip for girls.
Well, he was dressed up as a panda, which is my favorite animal. You can see behind me. He was wearing this panda onesie, and he's super tall. And it was like one of the only ones left. It was a very last minute costume, so it looked like flood pants. It was cut off at his like at his shins, and so yeah, that was kind of like the first thing that drawed me into like having conversations with him. And like we just ended up shutting down the whole party. We were the last ones on the dance floor, and it was just like history from there.
And when did you know that, hey, this guy's different?
Oh gosh. Um, Kind of around, I mean, I always knew he was different. Like he saw me in a way that nobody else did, and he believed in me more than anyone else had. Like he's like, yeah, like you can totally get your personal training certificate. You can start your own business. You're gonna quit your 9 to 5. And I'm like,
Cheerleader.
what?
There you go.
Right? I was like, there's no way. And like even when I was at like my darkest of my darkest, he and I did everything to kind of like push him away. He stuck around. So he's great.
I love, you said some amazing things. There's so many things direction I can take. But one thing that really stood out is said he was able to see you in a different way. So for tips for
Yeah.
guys, what can guys do to really see the girl that they have their eyes on in a way that makes her feel special? As a guy,
Mm.
I'm myself incredibly curious because it's part of ongoing learning process. But every guy that's listening to this, they want to know how can I convey to this lady, this woman, this girl, how can I make her feel seen and heard in a way that, hey, you mean for me. I'm not just trying to hit and run. I want to build something with you. I see a potential,
Mhm.
a real beautiful future. How did he do it? And you as a woman, what tip can you give to guys so they can make the woman they have this eye set on to make her feel seen and heard?
Mm. Yeah, that's a great question. Persistence. And
Okay.
I mean persistence in the way that, and not every female's like this. I can only talk about
Hmm.
um, from my standpoint is that it's always been really hard to be vulnerable with people, to
Hmm.
actually say what's on my mind and what's real. And so, as a partner, to have someone ask you, like, hey, what's up? And you're like, oh, nothing, I'm fine. Like, she's not fine. Like, just, asking questions, not just like yes or no questions. Like, what are you excited about? Like, what happened today? Like, tell me about your day. Like, just be interested and ask questions to listen and understand
Hmm.
and not to just reply. So like just keep asking like, what was it like for you? How did that make you feel? Like that is probably the thing that makes me feel seen the most.
Love that, love that, love that.
Yeah.
You mentioned also your dark times. So The question I'll ask you, so
Hmm.
when you're at your lowest, the darkest chapter of your life, how did you change? You know, there's a saying that says, change your story, change your life. And what I
Mm.
mean by this, the story you tell yourself all day long. So how did you, Leah, change that story at the lowest internally so you can change your story externally?
Mm. Yeah, it's definitely something that took time and a lot of self-development. So my lowest was, we moved into this new house. My dad had just passed away very suddenly. We were doing renovations that we had no idea how to do. I had just quit drinking. I had been drinking since I was 16 into my 30s, and it was really just destructive, and I didn't want to be that person anymore. So my fiance, like, he did it with me. He was my rock and helped me get through it. Honestly, I probably wouldn't have done it without him. But once I got sober, that all of the past and all of the trauma and everything that I had dealt with was now rising to the surface, and I didn't have my coping mechanism anymore. So I actually was diagnosed with anxiety, ADHD, and depression there. So I was working with a psychiatrist. I was working with my doctor. I went to therapy. I started listening to books and to podcasts, and like I would walk every day for a full year. I walked even in the snow, and these podcasts and these amazing authors, and they really helped become my mentor to, yeah, change the narrative of what was going on, right? Like I was a failure. I wasn't enough. I didn't know who I was. I was very disconnected to myself. I was very angry. And so, yeah, this just helped me start to peel back the layers and just deal with what I had gone through in the past in a healthier way than drinking and eating. So, yeah.
Love that, love that. You mentioned also that at one time you were drawn back to the previous lifestyle, partying, drinking. What was drawing you back? Was that the memory, the good time, or was that more the people trying to get you back? Hey, don't leave us, come back with us.
Yeah, I think it was um, to I think just for fun and excitement. And as someone who has like so much anxiety and overthinks so much, you can have a couple drinks and you're just like, like
Just one
life's
drink, and
good.
one
It's
drink turns into
chill.
five, 10 before you
We're
know
just
it. And yeah,
right. And you just like, so I was drinking to relax and to just take a chill pill and to have fun. And then just, yeah, exactly like you said, it just becomes more than that.
yeah, wow. Hmm.
Hmm.
You mentioned also something very interesting, at least to me, and that is powerlifting. It's something I've been trying to get into myself. So when you went into powerlifting, were you trying just to improve your health, or were you actually trying to lose weight, or were you trying to prepare for a competition? What was your objective?
Well, first off, it was to lose weight. So I started working at the gym right after I had my son, and I got the trainers there to show me how to work out because I didn't know what to do. And so, yeah, a lot of them were heavy lifters, and they're like, "Yep, we're just going to teach you." And it's not about, it's losing weight is great, but you want to get strong and like start throwing weights around. And I'm like, oh, well, I do want to get strong. Like that's really cool. So yeah, to lose weight, and I mean, the more muscle mass that you have on your body, the more calories your body burns at rest. So for me, it's like I had this philosophy that I used to lift so I could eat pizza and tacos, right? So like the more you lift, the more food that you can eat. So, but yeah, mostly for weight loss, and then it became to be strong for longevity, so I can open the pickle jar by myself, so I can move furniture by myself, so I can do activities with my son without ever being in pain. Like it's functional fitness for life.
I love that. I love that. What tips would you have for someone who's looking complete beginner to get into powerlifting?
Yeah. So to seek out someone who knows what they're talking about. And if you're looking into like there's resistance training and lifting in the gym for your health and wellness. If you're looking into powerlifting to lift heavy weights, I would highly recommend working with somebody in person because you need someone that can watch your form, make sure you're doing things correctly. Because as humans, we all have imbalances, right? From our everyday life, we had forward shoulders from being on our phone. Maybe we sleep on our stomach or we're leaning onto our center console. We all have these imbalances that need to be corrected in the gym. So I definitely just recommend, even it doesn't have to be for a long time, but working with someone who's experienced to help you out with that.
And what would you consider to be the best diet if someone wants to really maximize the gains in the gym?
Well, what gets measured gets managed.
Hmm.
So, using a tracking app, I mean, AI has made amazing tracking apps. Like you can literally take photos of the food
Yeah.
separates it and tracks it really well for you. So it's been easier than ever to track your food. But you want to eat protein is the center of all the meals that you're going to have. So at least 3 meals a day, a full serving of protein, like, a chicken breast, a can of tuna, ground beef. Like, so protein needs to be the center of every meal. And for powerlifting, carbs are super important. So like potatoes, rice, even like breads. Um, yeah, carbs and protein are essential for sure.
A friend of mine eats literally half to one full grilled chicken a day.
Hmm.
So for me personally, the time I felt the best was when I was doing the keto or the carnivore diet. Skip
Yeah.
breakfast, lunch, big steak, 4 eggs, salad, because I need my greens.
Mhm.
And that
Yep.
allowed me, when I was having normal with, carbs lunch, an hour after lunch, I was always hungry, always lethargic, tired, sleepy, always munching. But once I switched to
Hmm.
that diet, I was not sleepy, I was not hungry, I was not tired, I was full of energy until 7, 8 o'clock. And
Yeah.
then for dinner, chicken, fish, and salad and green. That's the best I've
Yep.
ever felt. What are your thoughts on the keto and other meat only carnivore diet?
Yeah, like a keto is amazing. And I
Mm,
know some people who have had amazing success with it. And I know for even people who have serious health things going on, like they're put on a very restrictive keto diet. And it honestly does wonders. Like I think it's amazing. I think that staying in ketosis is very difficult.
mhm.
I work with a lot of women who they're working moms. They're very busy. They're cooking meals for their kids. They're on the go all the time. And sometimes it's like, oh, I just need to grab something here. I just need to grab something there. So for these women who are struggling to stay on track with their diets and eating healthy, a carnivore slash keto diet isn't super realistic. That's not to say that it wouldn't give them results, but it's any restrictive diet is a challenge in its own to stick with. So you need to be in
Yeah.
the right time and place for it. I think, yeah. But I don't have anything against them. I think they're great.
For me, the biggest challenge was cutting, especially bread, because I love bread. Bread, all kinds of bread. I even sometimes joke saying I even have bread with water, you know. Bread, of course, and everything that goes along with bread, like say um, cakes, pastries.
Yeah.
I love those
Yes.
pastries, croissant,
Yes.
chocolate,
Oh.
pain au chocolat, as we say in French, and all those things. And pizza. Who doesn't like pizza? Seriously,
Right.
pasta, So
Yeah.
that was the
Yeah.
biggest thing for me. And also, I do have a sweet tooth, so that's one thing I've
Yeah.
been trying. I know sugar can be very bad, so I'm doing my best not to. But of course, when you see all this amazing gelatos and things like that, okay, just one, just like only just one today, and then tomorrow,
Yes.
okay, just one today, and then before you know it, it's like every day, can't stop it.
So true. There's so many tasty things out there.
Yeah.
I think it's all about moderation. Like
Hmm.
whatever your diet is, it needs to be something that you can stick with for life.
Yes,
So if you love tacos and tequila and your diet does not allow you to have tacos and tequila, it's probably
that's a
not the
great
diet for you.
combo.
Right? And it's not to say you should eat it all the time, but
Yeah,
we need to have the things that fuel our body first and
yeah,
foremost. 80% we're eating foods that fuel our body, and then 20% we're eating foods that we really like. And that's okay. I mean, you should have foods that you like that fuel your
yeah,
body too. And it's not necessarily like, oh, carbs are bad and bread is
yeah.
bad, but I don't know about where you live, but here in like Canada and the US, like the quality of our grains are just awful. They're making people
Yeah.
sick. They're terrible for your digestive system. It puts your body in a state of inflammation and you hang on to weight, and then you mix that with sugar, and it's just, if we're eating a lot of it, it's really not good for
Pesticides and
us.
all that. Yeah, yeah.
So many things, like so many things. We could talk about that forever. But I always like, for me, like my rule is like plants. Like if it grows in the ground, it's great. I eat potatoes, I eat sweet potatoes, vegetables, fruits, and meat. Like ideally, like 80% of my diet is meat and plants.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah.
Diet is very, very important. Early this year in
Yeah.
January, I had a really health scare. Um, I had a pain here on my neck on the left side that at night especially was coming. It's almost as if something inside was like this stuck every 10 seconds. And at night it was very hard to
Mm.
sleep to the point I was literally in tears. So
Oh
one day
my
I went to
God.
the hospital here. I was at the time in Vietnam, now I'm in the Philippines. And I went to the best hospital. The first thing I did, of course, was to check my blood pressure. And I'll never forget that sight. The nurse literally jumped. My pressure was 193, which is
Wow.
almost pre-stroke level. They sent me straight away to emergency. They kept me there for an hour. They put a spray in my mouth. They wanted to do a bunch of tests on me. And then I have a friend of mine, he's a doctor in Malaysia. I messaged him. He said, yeah, come on over. I went to see him. He gave me an infusion of salt and potassium. He gave me a lot of things. But the one thing I did that really changed my diet was first, completely cut drinking, sugar, and garlic became my best friend.
Hmm.
One clove of garlic raw before bed. Thankfully, at the time I was single. Otherwise, I don't think she would have enjoyed it. And in the morning, first a big chunk, and also, the old school concoction, a big cup like this with hot water inside. I put slices of ginger, black pepper, cinnamon powder, turmeric, honey. It doesn't taste good, but you get used to it, and it's probably the one of the most powerful natural boosters, immunity system boosters, anti-inflammation there is. And that doing that for 3 months, by the grace of the Lord, now my pressure is back to normal. I've regained my health simply by changing my diet. So I cook a lot. I use the best virgin olive oil I can get
Yeah.
and a lot of greens. I love my meats and I also love my veggies, my salads, and being active, walking a lot, playing pickleball 2 hours a day. And all of that,
Yeah.
allowed me to lose weight. People that knew me from before say, "What happened to you? Lost weight?" I said, "Yes, I did." And because I literally add, in sports, they have, especially in football, they have this yellow card, red card. So
Mm-hmm.
first they give you a verbal warning, then a yellow card warning, and then a red card. You're out. So
Right.
I saw this as a yellow card from life just before halftime. And
Yeah.
I said, you know what? I need to change that because I have a full second half ahead of me. And I want to not just play it, I want to play it to win. And to win, I need to be in the best shape physically, health
Yeah.
wise. So again,
Yeah.
diet, for me, two things: diet, proper sleep, as well as here's the best, probably most important thing that a lot of people overlook. Two things. One, remove
Mm.
as much as you can stress from your life.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
the other one, the greatest medicine in the world, and it's free, laughing.
Mm.
I saw a doctor on a podcast say that if every doctor in the world prescribed 1 hour or even 30 minutes of mandatory smiling, laughing to everyone, within 30 days, 90 to 95% of all ailments would be gone. Because what is the number one cause of ailments? Is stress. So when you smile,
Mm-hmm.
when you laugh, when you put you in a state of gratefulness, your body becomes toxic for stress. And guess what's the
Right.
number one cause of every almost 95% of diseases? Stress. So
Yeah.
laugh more, be grateful, sleep well, eat well, be active. All
Yeah.
of them are pretty much for
You should
free.
be, you should be an online coach, Payman. You'd be
Well,
a
I
great
am.
fitness and nutrition coach. No, I
Yeah,
meant
I'm
like
teaching.
in my field. Yeah.
No, but seriously, eating is very important, but
Yeah.
eating right.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have to find what works for you. Like everybody is different. Like you said, there's a lot of times where something will happen to our health. And usually it can take something like that for us to realize, okay, like I actually do have to change. Like the pain of not changing has to be greater than
Uh-huh.
experiencing having to go through that change.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, when that happens, it can be like that light bulb comes on and it's like, okay, like I have a family, I have a kid, I have things that I have to do in this world, and I'm going to start taking care of myself so I can do all those things.
For me, it was really bad because I was coughing a lot.
Hmm.
And the worst thing was when I was eating,
Yeah.
I was vomiting after eating. And that's the thing that
Wow.
really caught my attention. Say, that's not normal. One time maybe, but two, three times in a row,
Yeah.
that's definitely not normal. And if you
That
add
would
to
be
that this
scary.
pain here,
Yeah.
that's when I went to the hospital. And again, we need that, not just
Yeah.
a slap on the wrist, but something more important because we don't learn with
Yeah.
just a slap on the wrist.
Totally. Yep.
We need something really painful, not too painful, mind it, universe. Make it tolerable, you know?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
but yeah, no, seriously. So
Yeah.
for you,
Yeah.
what would you say was for you the greatest breakthrough in regaining back your health and your lifestyle back?
Yeah, so I did a lot of like flip-flopping back and forth, right? I would work out and I would do these extreme
Mm.
diets and I would go back to drinking, and it was like this constant back and forth, back and forth. And I was like so mad at myself. Like, why don't you have willpower, Leah? Why can't you just do it? Like just do it. You know what to do. You have all the tools. And the biggest breakthrough for me was to understand um, how to regulate my stress. Because like you said, when we're stressed out, like our health suffers, our relationships suffer, we're so disconnected from ourselves. But we can't just snap our fingers and all of our stress goes away, right? We can't just quit our job, we can't just get rid of our family members when we're stressed out. Like we have to navigate that. So we have to learn to understand our emotional patterns, the way that we respond to stress so that your health can support that rather than sabotaging it, right? Because what happens
Yes.
when we're stressed, right? We want to drink or we want to eat that bag of Oreos or, the Tostitos or whatever it is, whatever your vice is. When we're in a state of stress, that's usually when we don't feel like going for our walks. We want to sit on the couch and watch Netflix, right? Like nobody gets, say in an argument with their partner or had a really bad day at work and they come home and they're like, you know what? I would just love to eat some chicken and rice and go for a nice walk. Like nobody says that when they're stressed out. So, so I had a lot of emotional stress like from my past that I had to learn to let go of, to forgive myself and to understand like what my stress responses were, what my triggers were, and as well as the things that other people did that were triggering me. And just take responsibility of my emotional and mental health. That was probably the biggest thing.
Speaking of triggering, what was one thing that was triggering you the most?
Um, my relationships. So I think, the people closest to you, they kind of get the worst of you and the best of you because you're right, you're close quarters, you're safe. But for example, like when my partner would do things, for example, say cleaning. So, say that he left a bunch of stuff all over the place. I would get triggered because him doing that would trigger my feelings of not being considered. Right. So by him leaving XYZ on the counter, to me, that was a trigger like, Leah, you don't matter. I don't care
Mm.
about what you think or your house or I don't care how you want it. And so that would put me into that kind of like, I'm a fighter. Like we all have different stress responses: fight, flight, freeze, fawn. I'm definitely a fighter and sometimes a fleer. So, earrings are coming off and we're having fights over, a plate and just silly things like that. So that was something that I really had to work through because he wasn't doing that because he didn't see me or didn't respect me or anything. He was just doing something and put a bowl down. So like just things like that.
Yeah, I can see that. Now let's move forward. Let's talk about your business.
Yeah.
Talk about your business and how are you making the world a better place around you and around the world.
Yeah, so it started by just personal training. And then when I was having my, when I got diagnosed with anxiety, depression, ADHD, I didn't want to be on a bunch of medication for a long period of time. I did go on medication, but I really wanted to understand nutrition and how, nutrition can fix everything. It can regulate your hormones. Like, look at what, the plants and your concoction like did for you, right? Like, plants are medicine. Food is medicine. Food is anti-inflammatory. Food can, you can literally change your body and your weight and how you feel with food. And so I really wanted to understand that. So I got my nutrition coaching certification, yeah, so I combined that with my personal training clients, and then I decided that I wanted to switch to online nutrition and fitness coaching. Um, I want to be able to work from the beach one day. That's my dream.
Well,
So when doing that online, you can.
now let me tell you, it's going to be a lot less expensive on the beach than in Canada. Let me tell
Yeah.
you that. And
Yes,
more enjoyable, more
exactly.
stress free.
Exactly. Yes. If I can run my business and alleviate stress and be in a place where it's sunny 8 months out of the year and not snowing 8 months out of the year, then
Oh
that'll
yeah,
be fantastic.
absolutely. So
Yeah.
share with us an example of the most remarkable transformation you've seen with one of your clients.
Oh gosh, how do I pick just one?
I love that.
Um, yeah, I've seen so many wonderful transformations. One of my clients, she is 47, and she was going through perimenopause. Her kids were kind of growing up, getting ready to graduate. She was about to be, empty nester. And, we had a lot of similarities where she was, really great Monday to Friday, like super strict with herself, like on track with her diet. And then on the weekends would be kind of like, her time, like her free time. Like, we're going out for appies and drinks with my friends. And then it was a cycle of now I have to get back into the gym. And she was kind of punishing herself on Monday and like having to work off, the calories and the food she ate and being like super, super strict. And so she came to me and she said, like, Leah, like I've been eating low calorie for so long. I'm only eating 14 or like 1100 calories, 1000 calories, and I can't lose weight. I can't lose weight. She did CrossFit. Do you know what CrossFit is?
Yes.
CrossFit is intense. Like,
Oh
this
yeah.
girl was, oh my gosh, she was so strong. And she like 5, 6 days a week, she's in the gym. She's like, Leah, like, I just cannot lose weight. I'm doing everything right. And so, working together, we had to undo kind of old habits, which again was that really restrictive, only eat this, only eat this. So we actually had to start increasing her calories because she had been in a calorie deficit for so long. So if you're eating in a calorie deficit for so long, your body's natural metabolism will drop to
Mm-hmm.
meet the calorie intake that you're taking. So that's can be why how a lot of women mess up their metabolisms and slow them down. So we actually had to gradually increase her calories. So she increased calories. She didn't lose she didn't gain any weight while she was increasing calories, but she had her energy back and her hair was growing better. Her nails were growing better. She
Wow.
was sleeping better. She wasn't having these crazy mood swings. She wasn't like bloating as much. She was lifting more in the gym, obviously, because she was eating more, but she was so scared to eat more food because she was so scared to gain more weight. And so she was mind blown that she could eat more food and not gain weight, and just everything started to change for her. The way that she looked at herself, the way that she thought about herself, she thought that she was a failure, that she was doing everything wrong. messing with her relationship with her husband because she was just beating herself up all the time. Yeah, so we increased her calories. We kind of, got to the root of what was going on. And then we started going into a fat loss phase. She went down. She only worked out 3 days a week at the gym. Yeah, we switched up what she was eating. She was tracking her food, and she started to see inches coming off. And she said that she hadn't been that weight since probably before high school. And she had worked with coaches before. She's done the cut thing. She's killing herself in the gym. And yeah, she saw amazing progress by doing less, reducing her stress, eating enough food that's going to fuel her body. And it changed her life. It changed her relationships. Yeah, so proud of her. She crushed it.
Rightfully so. Wow. So when you
Yeah.
feel when you experience this kind of results from your clients, how does that make you feel?
Oh, so proud. Just so proud because living that life of fulfillment and joy is so important to me. And if I can help in any way other women to get to that place where they can be their true authentic self because they're not, in their heads and feeling down about themselves and struggling with the way they feel and their energy and their stress, like if they can feel like themselves again in their own bodies and live happy, fulfilling lives, like my work here is done.
Oh,
Like
absolutely.
that's fulfillment for me. Yeah.
Absolutely. The greatest gift from my perspective of business is a transformation that you help achieve your clients and the friendships you build in the process. The money is on the
Totally.
icing on the cake. It's not the cake. It's the
Right.
transformation, the friendships you build, the lives you change, the people you inspire. That is the greatest gift, the greatest payout from my
Yeah.
perspective.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree.
Wow. Now, listen, we can talk for a lot. Let's wrap things up. To finish, I'd like
Yeah.
to ask you another fast, rapid fire series of questions, but this time on advices. Ready?
Sure.
What's the best piece of advice you've received so far in your life?
Um, that your uh that my worthiness and everyone else, that your worthiness is not conditional on what you do, where you've been, the things that you achieve in life. Like you come into this world
Mhm.
as a perfect human soul and you're worthy and you're enough just the way you are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what has been the worst piece of advice you received so far?
Oh, the worst piece of advice. I don't know what the worst piece of advice is. Probably something about debt and like how it doesn't matter. Like it just, you buy all the things and credit is good. And yeah, it's never something that I've wanted to do. Like I've always been like,
Hmm.
you can have a little bit of debt, but I like to have things, pay things off and live
Yeah,
within your means and, not have the financial stress. So that's probably something around those lines.
absolutely. Absolutely. Now, imagine that you were blessed with a time machine. You can go back in time and sit face to face with the 18-year-old Leah. Knowing
Mm.
all that you know now, what's the number one piece of advice you would give to her?
18-year-old Leah.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, probably the advice that someone gave me, like you are enough, hands down, like just the way you are, that you are enough, that your
Hmm.
past doesn't define you, and that you're not alone.
Oh, yes.
That, you would talk about like inner child work, right? Like you go back and
Hmm.
be that person for your younger self that, like I would just be like, I got you. I would give you like the biggest hug. Like, I got you. Like, we're going to walk on this path together. Like, you don't have to worry. Like, let's go find the light.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, do you have your own podcast?
Not yet, but it's actually in the works. So stay
Okay.
tuned. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. And let's future project a year from now. And by now, your podcast is very successful. And today, a year from now, you're interviewing the most special person in the world. Can you guess who that is?
Like you want me to guess who it is or pick who it is?
No, guess who it is.
Oh, guess who it is?
The most special
I don't,
person in the world.
the most special person in the world? Um, I don't know.
It's not someone else, it's yourself.
Oh,
So you're
okay.
interviewing yourself. So, what
Got
is
it.
the first question you want to ask yourself?
So I'm in the future and I'm asking myself,
Yeah, the first question you want to ask yourself. Don't think too much. First thing that comes to your mind.
how psyched are you that you got here? Like, how
And
excited are you that you got to this place? Like, what does it feel like knowing that you have, grown into
yeah,
this human, that you've kind of made your dreams come true?
and what would
Yeah.
be obviously your answer?
Like probably that it still doesn't feel real. That like it's yeah, just amazing and probably more than I could have ever wished for.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, what is the smallest thing you've done that has had the greatest, biggest, most profound impact for you in your business? For example, for me, it's been starting my podcast. What is it
Hmm.
for you? That one thing that has had the biggest impact in your positive impact in your life and in business.
I would say sharing my story.
Mm,
Yeah, like I don't have a podcast, but I shared a lot on social media and it just connected people with me and the people that I met along the way and my journey. So I think just being open about like who I am and,
mm-hmm.
just not being afraid to be vulnerable and yeah, just share my stories. I would say that.
Love that. Love that. If someone wants to
Yeah.
connect with you, what's the best way to do so?
Yeah, so you can follow me on Facebook. Wild and Free Fitness is my business name, so you can find me there. I do have an event coming up. I am doing a live 1 hour training on June 17th, all about, stubborn, hormonal, midlife weight gain, why weight loss isn't working, what to do about it. And so that is going to be, yeah, on June. Oh, sorry. I think I said June 17th. If the sign up isn't out yet, I'm sending that via email. So my email list is Leah at wildandfreefitness.ca, all one word.
Love that. Love that. Put that in the show
Yeah.
note.
Yeah.
So listen, Leah, love what you're doing. Love your story. Love your energy, your passion, your drive. Keep shining your light. You cheerleader with a heart. And I'll definitely see you soon. Take care, my friend.
Yeah.
Have a beautiful
Thanks,
rest of your
Payman.
evening. Take care. Bye bye.
You too.